Hi Capricorn, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2021 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always, and I'll split an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those Astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So, get started. Okay, so we have Aries, which for you guys, that's your 4th house for home, family. 8, which is your 8th house, and for you guys, that's actually Leo. So at the time of recording this, we're actually still in Leo season, so it makes sense that you have some focus there. And we have the North Node, which is actually in Gemini, which is your 6th house of work, daily routines, health. So we'll keep those in mind as we go through the spread. All right, main situation position, we have the 7 of Wands. So speaking of Leo energy, this is Leo energy here, and usually this represents defending yourself, successfully so, usually. Now this can say that maybe you could have, for some of you might have recently got a promotion, some of you could even be changing careers actually. That's kind of what I'm picking up on for some of you. But yeah, either way, it looks like you're defending yourselves and your beliefs around a certain situation. Like I said, usually successfully so. And the main reason I would say that, you see the 6 wands below, and then we see he's standing on a higher vantage point, right? So normally if it were like a 6-on-1 situation, probably wouldn't go so well, but with the higher vantage point, it gives him a bit of an advantage to be able to handle that a bit more easily. So that's what I'm seeing there. In the challenge or obstacle position, we have the 10 of Swords. So seeing this come up in the challenge or obstacle position could just be saying that whatever this is could lead to an ending, but for more of you, I feel like this is more of saying, all right, primarily I'm seeing this as a work situation. So just as a super generic example, this might be some of you deciding to leave one job and go to another, right? So that 10 of Swords could represent ending that cycle there. But obviously, it looks like people wouldn't necessarily be happy with that decision. Obviously, if you guys at the higher vantage point, it looks like you guys would certainly be happy with the decision, but maybe the people in your work environment wouldn't be too pleased with the decision. But just in general, could point to some conflicts there. And maybe you felt like you were overdue to speak up about whatever the situation is too. So even if you do stay within the same work environment, the reason this could be coming up as a challenge could just be saying that you might have been taking on a lot without speaking up, and now this could be the month when you actually decide to do so. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So seeing this in the foundation is definitely a positive to me, because it tells me even if there is some fluctuation as far as you guys leaving from one job to another, or possibly negotiating for better pay or promotion, whatever the case may be, to see this in the foundation looks like you guys would be in pretty good shape either way, even if it's a bit of a bumpy ride to get there. This is Virgo energy too, so could just be saying as we move toward the end of Virgo season, that's where you might feel this stability and security within your finances. And this could just represent seeing things from a higher perspective too. So that could be, part of what this is. Maybe your perspective around certain things is changing. So let's just say I point out to people that we generally tend to look at the people in this card as a family, but another way I see this, depending on the surrounding cards, is this could be as someone where, maybe he dedicated his life to his career, right? So he has all that financial success, but he might be looking back and saying, asking what if, right? What if he dedicated more of his life to maybe starting a family, for example? So that could be part of what it is too. So maybe you're having a bit of a change in your perspective toward how you view career and your work life. All right. In the past position, we have the 6 of Wands, which is Leo energy again, and the 2 of Pentacles. So for some of you, I feel like this could just be saying, especially that we just had that Leo new moon recently, at the time I'm recording this anyway. So could just be saying that it would make sense for that to be in the past position for September reading, but it could just be saying that that might have been when you really started to give this a lot of consideration. Maybe you had some insights around that new moon that made you think, all right, yeah, maybe I should be investing my time, my energy elsewhere, right? Because, we do think of 8th house as like more of a physical investment of something, right? But it could just be investing your time and energy in that regard too. And that might have been where you might have started to think, all right, you know what? Would I be better suited putting my energy elsewhere? And it could just be saying you might have had multiple offers too. So let's say you put your resume out there because you did already leave a job for some of you. And this could just be saying you might have had a lot of different offers to choose from. In the present position, speaking of offers, we have the Page of Cups. So, what always stands out with this card is usually the pages are sincere, but they're just not necessarily as skilled as, obviously, let's say like a knight, a queen, or a king, right? So if that fish in the cup there, it could just be saying that, you might get an offer, but it's not quite up to your liking. So, you might just feel like something's a bit off about it, right? It might seem a bit rushed. So, for example, for those of you who do stand up in your workplace, right, and then all of a sudden they try to make these concessions, but you might be thinking, it might be too little, too late, or, oh yeah, that's primarily what I'm picking up on there. I'm not necessarily getting this as like a romantic connection scenario or even a friendship. It seems really just tied around work for you guys this month. Worst case, I'll be doing the love readings next week if you want to check those out. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up on there. All right, in the near future position, we have the Page of Swords. So this could just be representing some more communication around whatever the situation is. Now we see it looks like that reluctant stance, right? There's not a lot of confidence with the person holding the sword, and they're looking right toward the situation. So it could just be saying that whatever the situation is, maybe it's a temporary blow up in the workplace or something like that. Looks like in the future there's going to be someone wanting to communicate around the situation again, but maybe obviously it looks like pretty intense energy there. They might be a little reluctant to come forward to communicate. And I will say, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde toward the end of September, and that could be pointing to maybe this is the timeline when it's saying that that's when things will be revisited, especially since that Mercury retrograde is going to be near the 10th house of career and social status. So there could be some revisions there, So keep that in mind too, as far as there's definitely more of a potential for misunderstandings within the workplace because of that. But if you give it a little bit of time, those things might iron themselves out. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Tower, the Five of Wands, more Leo energy here. We have the Hermit and the King of Pentacles. Hermit being Virgo energy, and then this is Capricorn. Oh, excuse me, Taurus, rather. So, all right. Yeah, for a lot of you, it looks like this is going to be you guys causing the Tower moment. So keep that in mind for those of you who absolutely deliberately want to cause that Tower moment. Awesome, right? But if you don't necessarily want it to go that route, just keep in mind that you do have the potential for that to happen this month. But like I said, for this to show up in the position of your influence in the situation, this is the best position to get the Tower card, because if you're not intending for that, then you can actually avoid it. So that's the positive there. With the Five of Wands, we see the Five of Wands, Six of Wands, and Seven of Wands. So a lot of Leo energy here. So this could have been something where the ball started rolling for you guys during the Leo season, even if it was just in your mind, and not actually taking action toward it. Or maybe things just went downhill within the workplace around that time. But yeah, it looks like this Five of Wands definitely represents some conflict, some competition. The Hermit being Virgo energy, this could just be saying that as we move through Virgo season, you might be looking at things from a different lens, right? Definitely a much quieter energy than we see with the Five of Wands. And the good thing is, though, he's looking at that King of Pentacles. So for some of you, this looks like whatever it is, it's going to improve your situation. And that's kind of what I got with the Ten of Pentacles there, too. Like I said, the Tower, the Ten of Swords, the Seven of Wands, it might not be the smoothest ride to get there, but overall, I think you guys will land on your feet in a more positive manner, whatever the situation ends up being. And this can just represent some insight you guys might get too, because that Virgo energy representing your 9th house, and then this representing your 5th house. So maybe you get some creative ideas around how to fix a situation, or possibly even go into business for yourself with the creativity, right? If you're having some good ideas around that. But that's what I'm seeing there. In the environment position, we have the Eight of Swords. So more Gemini energy here, which again goes back to your sixth house. So like I said, for a lot of you, this definitely seems work related, but I could see this playing out a couple different ways. Could just be saying that maybe you guys aren't necessarily seeing the situation clearly, which could be the case with that Mercury retrograde bubbling up to the surface. But this could just be saying this could be the people in your environment too, where whatever you express, I feel like they're not open to seeing it, right? With the Eight of Swords there, which obviously could cause that conflict. And also possibly not knowing how to rectify the situation, once you bring to their attention. Just a super generic example, say that you're taking on way more work than the other people in your office, right? And then you try to express to them like, look, this is just getting to be too much, right? But then they might not have the same level of trust with other people in your department as they do with you. So then they might be trying to figure out what to do there, right? So that's why I see they might come forward with some weak concession, So this is definitely going to be something that might take a little bit of back and forth before it gets aligned, but that's what I'm seeing there. Unless, of course, like I said, for those of you who decide you find another job altogether and just leave it behind. But if it's all within the same workplace, it looks like it's going to take a little back and forth. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Nine of Wands, Sag energy, Scorpio energy with the Five of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, that's Jupiter, Four of Wands, Aries energy, and Knight of Pentacles, Virgo energy. So yeah, the way I see this is just a progression, and I view it as more of a hope, which is, we see the guard up there, we see the disappointment, and I feel like this is saying you're hoping for that wheel to turn, right, and you move towards something much more fulfilling, much more stable. And like I said, from what I see here, it might not look like the easiest road to get there, but it looks like there's definitely potential for you to get there this month. This might take some patience, to say the least. And in the outcome position, we have the Four of Swords. So Libra energy here, speaking of your 10th house. And this definitely represents some healing. Now, to be fair, keep in mind that this comes after the Three of Swords, right? When you see the Three Swords hanging up there. So it might take a disappointment initially. There might be some disappointments. But yeah, to me, especially given that there is going to be that Mercury retrograde in Libra, I feel like this is saying it's going to take some push-pull, give, take, but eventually I feel like you guys will see your conditions improve toward the end of the month. All right, and bottom of the deck we have the Six of Pentacles. So Taurus energy here. For some of you, this could just be saying that it might take until Scorpio season, which would be, October, when we actually do see the balance restored. Just because we'd have a Taurus full moon during Scorpio season. So that's how I'm kind of seeing that, where it's like the potential's certainly there, right? And maybe even that's what that Four of Swords is pointing to, where you guys reach an agreement, but it just might not, tangibly come your way until Scorpio season. So that's what I'm seeing there. All right. Moving on to your Oracle card, we have Treasure Island. There's the artwork, and the number is 9. So, of course, September is the 9th month, so could be some significance with that, but we'll see what it says. Okay, it says the law of attraction bringing dreams into fruition, the results of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. So, certainly sounds good so far. The Oracle's message says you've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tap the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. So yeah, to me that kind of circles back to what I was saying, where it looks like everything is going to work out for you guys. It just looks like it might be pretty intense to get to that point this month. So it doesn't look like a smooth ride, to be fair, but in the end, it looks like it'll work out well. The relationship message says your relationship is a treasure, providing even more than you need, but you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourselves and each other. Now is the time of discovery. It's as if everything is in sync and everything is new again. Romance blooms and love is in the air. You can be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. So yeah, like I said, I really didn't pick up on much of a romance vibe at all with the spread. But if that's what you guys are dealing with, hopefully that resonated with you. And like I said, worst case, we'll do the love readings next week. All right, and the prosperity message says at this time you can be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you're in a true manifestation period when you will see evidence of the seeds of prosperity you planted in the past. The appearance of this card in the reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. So, pretty positive message there as well. And yeah, like I said, in a way, this all kind of makes sense, right? Where if there's already underlying issues in the workplace, that Mercury retrograde in your 10th house of career and social status would bring those things to the forefront to be looked at. And then that would be a work in progress, right? But like I said, it looks like things will improve toward the end of the month. All right. And lastly, we have a Mudra card for you guys. So your Mudra for this month is here. It's the Ajna Chakra Mudra. The keyword for it is clarity. All right. And there's the info on it. Okay, looks like we can't fit everything in the frame, so if you want to pause it or take a screenshot, you can, and I'll move it up till we get the rest in there. All right, so yeah, under benefits, it says awakens the Ajna chakra, opens spiritual vision, stimulates the pituitary gland, clarifies the mind, improves concentration and intuition. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name of it in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.